The war in Iran is not going so well as proxies are now getting involved in this situation. Northern Israel is getting pummeled right now by Hezbollah, and the stockpile of the Iron Dome's defense systems is being right now absolutely exhausted. We got some footage for you that is absolutely crazy here. Let's just jump straight into the war footage that we got for you today.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Boom! Oh! So that's absolutely insane. This is where a Patriot missile interceptor launched 11 of them to stop one Iranian hypersonic missile. It missed terribly, and you can see the result there. So we've got several of these images coming out where the Patriot missile system, David Sling, all this stuff is failing miserable. This one here is just a great example. So this is actually at a test in Taiwan, a live fire drill in Taiwan of the Patriot system, and you can see it clearly just pre-detonates in thin air here and just doesn't work. And so there's a lot of concern right now that these systems are not nearly as effective as they claim to be. Let's take a look at that again. So there it fires off, and then boom, it just self-detonates. It assumes that there is a ballistic missile near it, and it just goes kaboom, not doing anything. Here we have a Reaper Q9 MQ-9 drone worth over $30 million. Iran has now shot down multiple of these. We have confirmed accounts of 3 of these being shot down. And so obviously the IRGC is putting out some propaganda footage of the wreckage here. Now, listen, according to the United States CENTCOM, these, one was taken down over friendly fire, one just crashed from a malfunction, another one, it just self-imploded, it didn't like itself anymore or something. Of course, they're going to say that. They got to make it look good. But the fact that the United States has lost 3 of these extraordinarily expensive drones in such a short time goes to show you that the war effort in Iran is not going as planned. Here we have an American Patriot missile. Kuwaiti air defense failed and fell on civilian homes. Now, the damage appears to be somewhat superficial. Obviously, it doesn't look good. There's a lot of dust. I'm sure the cars are pretty well damaged, but they could probably just start up and still drive. But a lot of superficial damage there. There were some reported injuries with that, but no deaths. Here's another one where U.S. missile defense system in Qatar failed to intercept Iranian missiles. The moment a Patriot missile bounces back and falls to the ground moments after its launch. And you can see it just falls and hits right there. I mean, the person driving this car, if they would have just been driving a little bit faster, they might have gotten hit by this thing. Here's some more footage of the missile systems just completely failing to hit their target whatsoever. And these ballistic missiles from Iran are hitting their targets and pummeling. Massive amounts of damage. That entire building, we've seen the aftermath of that building, which they're trying to highlight as being like some civilian building or whatever. I think this had more to do with the Israeli defense forces being stationed there or having some intelligence there from what I have read. But again, it's hard to get accurate information in this war as everybody is hiding everything. This one is very concerning. So this is a Patriot missile that goes haywire immediately after being launched, and it actually hit some civilians in Bahrain into their house, causing a lot of damage and some serious injuries. And Bahrain and the United States tried to blame this on an Iranian drone. And lo and behold, it wasn't a drone. And despite their adamant assertions that it was a drone, it was not a drone. We have the video footage here. This was a Patriot missile that went haywire. And so you can see, I mean, it literally just makes a straight beeline across the horizon, and it runs into some residential houses there. Again, they're trying to claim that this had, it was an Iranian drone that caused the damage. Clearly, it was a Patriot missile that misfires. Here we have just a complete failure of multiple Patriot missiles trying to shoot down a single old ballistic missile. This is not a hypersonic missile, and completely fail. This is on a U.S. air base in Qatar. So it looks like right there it makes contact, but it doesn't. That's the self-detonation of the Patriot missile itself, but the ballistic missile slips through, so they have to fire another salvo.
Come on.
And this is just a complete swing and a miss. Not even close. Boom.
Yeah.
So a lot of damage there. You can see the plume of smoke, dirt, debris that is kicking up. And we know that Iran is attacking the eyes and the ears of the United States and Israel through their radar systems, early detection systems, etc. So we don't know exactly, the military hasn't put out where this bomb actually hit, if it hit any of that critical infrastructure. But what we do know is that Israel and the United States is being absolutely worn down. Here is some footage from the H group in Lebanon. I guess you're not allowed to say their name on social media. Now understand that these are short-range multi-launch rocket systems. They have a range of about 15-20 miles or so, which is still pretty good because the border, the towns are so close to each other. So, the H group is claiming here that they got 30 of their rockets through into the city of Kiryat Shimona, also known as occupied Palestine. And I'm going to show you that city here in a minute. It's an absolute ghost town. So this is more footage coming out of northern Israel, southern Lebanon, of just barrage after barrage after barrage that is coming through here. So you have the air defense systems having to shoot down these extremely low-cost rockets, which is basically what they have. They don't have ballistic missiles like Iran has. They have a bunch of rockets, so it's very short range. They don't need the long-range stuff to cause a lot of havoc. And you're talking about, these rockets costing $5,000 to $10,000 for Hezbollah or H group. I hope that doesn't get this video taken down. But to shoot one of those down, I mean, Israel is spending $3 million minimum, but they're firing whole salvos of these. So it could be as much as $15, $20, $30 million per exchange here, where Hezbollah is only spending $100,000. So the war of economics here is definitely in favor of H group in H group in that region and Iran. Here you can see just a massive launch, huge salvo being launched just to shoot down these very cheap rockets from the H group.
Whoa.
I mean, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at least right there. Then they fire off like 3 more. So it's like 11, 12 or so. Each one of those missiles costs around $3 million. So there's a good 30 million plus right there. And of course, who's paying for that? The United States taxpayer. And so here's that actual town, what they call Kiryat Shmona, also known as occupied Palestine. Complete ghost town. Most of the settlers have fled the town. Apparently this area, at the time that this was taken, is usually packed with people, and the fact that you just have a few cars on the roads and just very light foot traffic shows the amount of fear that the Israelis are in, and they are willing to leave their land. And I thought it was promised to them 3,000 years ago. So apparently they don't believe in their own promise. So again, I think this is just another angle of that video previously, but again, it shows just how many of these stockpiles that they are exhausting on these very cheap H group, keep wanting to say it, cheap rockets. Now this one is very interesting because a lot of people are now complaining about the Israeli government not getting the sirens up and going so people can get to their bomb shelters. And the reason for that is because both Iran and Hezbollah, H group, gosh, I keep saying it. Hope I don't get demonetized for this. Anyway, that they have taken out the eyes and the ears, and therefore they don't know when these are coming in. So pay attention. The rocket hits. Either it's a ballistic missile or a rocket. It hits, and then you hear the sirens. And now the sirens. So you already have 3 impacts before a single siren goes off, which tells you that their eyes and ears have been severely damaged in their intelligence and being able to forewarn their people. This is another light show here over Kiryat Shmona, otherwise known as occupied Palestine. And it's, again, going up against very cheap rockets, and they're expending massive amounts of ordnance, very expensive for the U.S. taxpayers because we're the ones who pay for it. And so, yes, the H group does have drones. They are not the Shahed drones that Iran has. These are much cheaper and less impactful. They only have about a pound of explosives, but yes, they are deadly. They can take out some stuff. And so you can see here some IDF guys trying to shoot it down. It was not very effective. It still got through. So there you have it, guys. It is a pretty wild situation going on in northern Israel, all of greater Israel, like they like to call it or whatever. They are getting hammered, and they're not showing this because it's literally illegal in Israel to show what is happening. They're continuously shutting down the internet so their citizens can't send out these posts. And if they get caught, they could face up to 5 years in prison. Now, we know that it's a double standard court system in Israel. What that's really for is the Arabs and the Palestinians, whether they're an Arab Israeli citizen or they are just, regular Palestinian under the occupation. It's really to stop them from sending these out, because they're not going to actually send a Jew to prison for this. We already know that. Getting real intel has been very, very difficult. But what we are actually seeing, what is actually coming out that's not AI slop, is pretty devastating. Israel has never seen such devastation pretty much in its entire existence, pretty much ever since the 1970s war with Egypt and Jordan and Syria. Guys, I hope you like this information. If you do, please support us with a subscription. It's absolutely free. Hit that subscribe button, follow button, and share this video to everybody who needs to see it. Also, check out our Substack if you want to support us financially. That's the best way, where we bring hard-hitting news articles to your email every single day. The news that the mainstream will not cover. Links are down in the bio. Also, if you are worried about your information being on the dark web, check out the video sponsor today. That is Hour.com. Link is down in the bio, where you can get a free trial for 14 days and find out if your information is on the dark web and what you can do about it. Again, completely free trial. You don't have to move on past the 14-day free trial if you don't want to, but it's really good to know if your information is out there on the dark web, and they can help you take care of it and keep you safe. Thank you to Hour.com for being a sponsor of the channel.